Hi guys, welcome to site. I want to introduce to you today the Alpha Hydro. So this is Alpha's first zero carbon heating solution. So the Alpha Hydro consists of an air source heat pump and a pre-plumbed cylinder. It's sold as a package. The unit behind me is a 5 kilowatt model. We also sell an 8, a 12 and a 16. Yeah, so the 12 and 16 are double fan unit. The 5 and the 8 look similar to this behind, the single fan units. So firstly, we need to talk about why we've chosen an air source heat pump for this project. So the project itself has got a main house behind us, and that's run on a traditional oil boiler. So what we have is a fossil fuel appliance. The customer was looking for a zero carbon heating solution. Because the building's a new building as well, we've got really high levels of installation. So one of the first things we need to look at when we're doing a heat pump install is actually conducting a heat loss calculation of the property. So what we've done here is we've calculated all of our building fabrics, worked out our different U values, and we've come to a heat loss figure. But what that's looking at is how much energy we need in heat to heat this property behind me on the coldest day of the year. So in the region we're in at the moment, the coldest day of the year on average is around 2 degrees or -2 degrees outside temperature. And we're looking at how many kilowatts of power we need to heat the property behind me to 21 degrees, so we're nice and toasty inside. So, because the actual building's so efficient and so well built, we only need a 4 kilowatt heat loss. So on the coldest day of the year, we need 4 kilowatts of power to get us to 21 degrees. So the 5 kilowatt unit behind me, the smallest unit on offer, was perfect for the job. Other considerations to take is there's no mains gas available in this area where this development is. So it was a really good option against an oil boiler to go for an air source heat pump. Also I want to talk about today is we're going to cover a few aspects of the job. So firstly, we need to look at what outside space we need for the unit. So the unit's quite small, but we needed to factor in things like we need a base. So we've built a concrete base we can mount the unit on. We've actually used some anti-vibration feet so that when the fan's running inside the unit, we're not generating any excess noise that we don't want to hear. We have to look at how we got the pipe work in. So we've got, you might be able to see behind me, 2 very large pipes. They are flow and return pipes, and they're actually running to and from our pre-plumbed cylinder. We've then got a power supply. So obviously the heat pump itself is compressor driven and fan driven, so that we use electricity input to run. And then Dan inside, my colleague, and Jonathan will talk to you a little bit about the heat pump itself, the install, and a little bit about wiring as well.
Right, so we're now at the exciting point. We've done our first fix heating pipe work, our cold water mains in, we've got our 5 litre expansion vessel in, and now we're really ready to get the pre-plumbed hydro cylinder in place. We've got our primary flow and return to our heat pump. We've got our primary flow and return to our underfloor heating manifold. The manifold is pre-flushed and pressure tested, so it's good to go. And we're about to install the Alpha Hydro pre-plumbed cylinder. Right, so we're at the final stage of the installation here at the new build. So the air source heat pump outside unit is up and running. So the cylinder is currently up to 21 degrees. We've used a heat pump specific filter. We've got all underfloor heating here, so we will be adding biocide and inhibitor afterwards, and the reason that we used the heat pump specific filter is to allow more flow through the filter than a traditional filter will give you.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the power and control requirements for the hydro unit. We got an electrician to run a rotary isolator outside for the outdoor unit, and then off a 16 amp breaker. And once that work was done, we could make the final connections ourselves. A short piece of weatherproof cable for the outdoor unit, a 2-core communication cable that comes back into the control panel here, and then a simple 3-wire connection for power from a switch fuse spur. And that can be off a dedicated circuit from the consumer unit, or in this case, just from a 13 amp ring main. Wiring up the unit was really simple. It comes factory fitted with a 3-core power cable, and then there's just a 2-core communication cable to terminate ourselves and fit in the Alpha controls. I'll take the cover off and I'll show you how easy it was when we look inside. So with the control cover removed, we can see the connections we've made. Down at the bottom here are the two cutouts for Alpha Controls receivers. We only have one heating zone, so we're just using one controller. And the only other connection we've made is this 2-core communication cable into F1 and F2, and that's routed to the outdoor unit to provide communication. The terminals are marked F1 and F2 on the indoor and outdoor units. You do need to get the polarity correct. They are polarity sensitive, but if you get it wrong, it's a simple switch.
Hopefully that gives you a nice insight into the Alpha Hydro. If you're an installer and you're interested in training, we offer free training on all of our heat pumps. If you're a customer, you'd like to know about feasibility or whether this product could be installed at a property you own, you can find all the information you need at www.alpha-innovation.co.uk.